All right, this is LL Cool Z of Capital Chaos TV, and we're hanging out here with Tom Hunting of Exodus. How's it going, Tom?
It's going good. How you doing, LL Cool Z?
I'm doing excellent, man. I'm just waiting for my gold chain and my watch to show up, and I'll be
blinging.
I'll be blinging and pimping,
Santa Claus style.
So, Exodus, 33 years of Exodus, is that right?
Yeah, that sounds many moons ago. All this started. It's been quite a journey.
Out of Richmond, California, is that correct as well?
Yes, Richmond, California. Richmond, San Pablo area, kind of the ghetto in the East Bay, and yeah, we started this whole thing up long time ago.
And some say that you're the only original member, but that's not entirely accurate, right?
Well, I'm the only original member from like day one, the high school days. You know, Gary was originally Kirk's guitar roadie. We called them roadies back then. They called technicians nowadays, but back then we called them roadies. And you know, he picked up a guitar and he was just a natural, you know. So
yeah, he's got some. He used to play that. I don't know. It's been a long time since you played No Love, right?
It's been quite a while. I mean, we'll whip it out somewhere down the road, like probably during like a, you know, heavily bonded by blood set, something like that.
He used to bust out that little. Is that an original composition? That little melody thing prior to that song?
Gary wrote that many years ago, probably '84 or something like that.
I've heard an extended version of that that's longer than the. Well, maybe he just noodles on a bit. He used to noodle on a bit about it live.
Yeah, we all used to noodle on quite a bit. So.
What was the band? What was the band that you most aspired to be when you started out?
I mean, we had like lots of influences. I listened to a lot of classic rock. I mean, I'd always watched like Keith Moon, The Kids Are All Right, and I kind of like aspired to be that kind of crazy style drummer where you just do like non-expectant things of, you know, things outside of the normal rudimentary grooves of drumming. But you know, I had lots of influences. But the band I would aspire to be, I mean, shoot, when you're, you know, 13 years old, who do you want to be? Back then, I would have liked to have been Led Zeppelin, I guess. But you know, just inspired to be original and be myself, you know.
Was drumming your first choice?
Actually, I played guitar before I played drums, and I've always been like a singer trapped in a drummer's body. So I still do karaoke now and then, but mostly soul music. Nothing metal.
Oh, soul, like with 60s soul, 70s soul.
Like yeah, like both, like Tower of Power, like Marvin Gaye, Stylistics, Temptations, that kind of stuff.
My Girl, I bet you bust out a mean My Girl.
I could do My Girl. Just my imagination's more what I like to sing when I do Temptations, and
It was just my imagination running away with me.
You know, just as long as it's soulful, you know, little Howlin' Oates.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Rich Girl for sure. I guess you still play a little guitar.
I still play a little bit of guitar, yeah. But I have like, you know, since I switched guitar to drums when I was like 13 or 14 and kind of never looked back. Still always picked up the guitar, but I never owned any more guitars after that. So like, I own some guitars now, but most of them are strung right-handed because I learned to play like upside down. You know, most of my friends were right-handed guitar players, so
like Jimmy or something.
There was a period. Well, Jimmy had his strung properly, but it was left-handed. Mine's still strung for a right-hander, but I've learned to like adapt to like playing upside down.
Oh wow! So like you're crossed upside down.
It's insane. Some of the chords are like and look like I'm flipping you off when I'm doing a G chord or something, you know, but I don't take it seriously. Guitar anyway.
All in fun, sure.
Yeah.
Has Gary ever written any riffs off of your beats? You guys like jam and write?
Well, I mean, on Exhibit A, like Iconoclasm kind of started with a drum beat, and I guess that kind of fed his riff a little bit. You know, he's written a lot of riffs that I play drum beats to, you know, the riff. But it's a good combination. It works good.
That's awesome. Now, do you reminisce much about the early days?
What I can remember of them, yeah. I mean, I don't look at myself as like being super interesting, but the journey has been very interesting, and it could make a good book someday.
Sure.
So.
And I think there's Harold O has a book with a lot of pictures of you guys from the whole day murder in the front row.
Yeah, his like, I can't believe he saved all them pictures from all them days, but I'm really happy with that book. I'm really happy for Harold and Brian that they made that book. It kind of like, in a picture form, it kind of like chronicalizes what those early days were like, and it's good that somebody saved all that stuff,
That's great. And it's
my book would be more stories that I have up in here about, just crazy shit that's happened throughout the times.
Wow, personal reflections.
There's been a lot of them,
And,
the bad stuff too. Can't always just have the good stuff.
No. I was around during those days, and I recall a lot of really bad, horrible, shit-talking, negative nonsense as part of that. Probably the same with anybody growing up in any age, I would imagine.
Yeah. We've had it all.
Except, it's not on Facebook now. I mean, all the horror stories of today that happen today are going to be there forever on Facebook, right?
Yeah. I don't do Facebook, so I don't really have a comment on that.
Good for you. Do you have what advice would you give for a drummer starting out today?
Just stay humble, no matter how good somebody tells you you are. Don't ever get caught up in your own legend, and do what you love and follow it. Follow what you love, and if you can make a living playing music, just don't ever take it for granted, because it's quite a lifestyle.
And was the Venom Slayer tour your first big tour for Exodus?
Yeah, actually, Venom was our first European tour. Also, they brought us over to Europe to be with them on that tour, and that was our first big tour. We had done a couple of van tours of our own before that, and I mean that was actually a van tour for us also. But yeah, that was our first, every night sold out in a decent sized venue kind of tour. So yeah, that was great. It was a fun tour.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see you guys at the Crest Theater and the Holly Palladium. Those are both incredible shows.
Nice.
You probably have a lot of good stories for your upcoming book from that particular tour itself, I would imagine.
I wouldn't call it upcoming. I would call it, thinking about right now. But yeah, there's some crazy shit happened on that tour, for sure.
The best, most epic Christmas gift you ever received?
Ooh, probably. My mom bought me a Sears electric guitar, and like a little Sears amp, and I just thought that was the shit back then. And then a couple years later, when I'd switched to drums, there was a brand new set of Zildjian rock hi-hats under the tree, and I had seen AC/DC play. I bought tickets for both nights of Back in Black tour.
Ooh.
And I was looking at the tour booklet because I wanted to see what kind of cymbals that Phil Rudd was playing.
Right.
And I was like looking through that book, and there were Zildjian rock hi-hats, and I said, "Mom, I want a set of those." I still got the hi-hats.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are a Yamaha drummer, is that correct?
Yes, I am. I'm a Yamaha.
You were at one time a Tama drummer, is that right?
No, I've never been with Tama. I never had an endorsement. I bought a set of Yamaha recording series in 1986, right before we recorded Pleasures of the Flesh, and I love the drum set. That drum set's been on every Exodus album that I've played on until now. So I just got hooked up with them like as an artist, 2011, and yeah, I'm really happy. They're a good company. They take really good care of me. And they gave me this sexy-ass drum set you see upstairs tonight. So.
Yeah, they make great guitars, too.
Yeah, I always love their guitars.
Do you have any new additions to your drum set as of late?
I just got a drum rack. Thank you, Greg Crane and all the Yamaha. I just got a drum rack. I've never had a rack system for hardware as hardware before. I've always used just boom stands and like tom-tom stands and whatnot. But yeah, I'm getting used to it. I kind of like it because it sits lower and I can kind of dig into the bass drum grooves a little more. Everything's solid. Nothing's like moving around like crazy earthquake going on while you're playing.
Right.
So yeah, I'm liking it.
And will we see you at NAMM this year?
That's kind of contingent on how this writing process goes for the new record. I'm going to try to make it down there for the Yamaha signing thing on that Sunday, but we'll see how it goes. My primary focus right now is just to help these guys write the record. So,
can we expect any blast beats on the new CD?
And I'm not a blast beat guy.
Okay.
That's more like Nick Barker's forte.
Sure.
But that's a different school. I'm from a different school. I love blast beat drummers when they do it good. Gene Hoglan's like the best at that. Because he does it with power.
Right.
And it sounds like, it doesn't sound like someone's like laying back, it sounds like someone's just hitting the drum super fast.
He's not playing with straws.
No. Gene's a great drummer. I kind of hate him because he makes it look so easy, but I love you, Gene. You're the shit.
Which of the drummers that had replaced you temporarily in Exodus would you say were best suited for Exodus?
I mean, I haven't really had to play live. Haven't really played like we do only Death Decides, which Johnny Tempesta played on Impact is Imminent. I listened to those records, and I'm sorry that I'm not on them, but playing something that Paul Bostaff played, he's an incredible drummer. He's an amazing drummer and just an amazing person. Aside from being a drummer. But I have to play his. When we play Death Amphetamine, it's like I can't do what those guys do, and I think they'd probably say the same thing about my playing because it's two different schools, and I think it has something to do with me being left-handed and them being right-handed. They're probably Tempesta and Bostaff are probably a little bit more rudimentary trained than myself, so they have a different style of groove. I'm more of like a blend in with the riff kind of drummer, and I grew up playing soul and funk music and tried to. It's just different schools, sure. I think, but they're both amazing drummers and amazing people.
And
So.
you've heard Lombardo do Strike of the Beast, and you've heard Bostaff do Strike of the Beast.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I've heard them both do it.
Are they hitting all the beats, or is there some different flavor? Are they bringing their own flavor to it, or are they?
They bring their own flavor to it, totally.
Cool. Enough said on that. And would you have you been given an opportunity to join Slayer?
I couldn't do the footwork. My feet have never gone that fast. To me, I love Paul in that band. I love Dave in that band. Those are the only two guys that could do it. I think as far as like somebody like myself being in Slayer, I would have a purity issue with that. You know what I mean? Because those guys were part of that band and part of that legacy, and I wouldn't want to walk into that. You know what I mean? It's just not. There would be something lost in me being up there trying to play that. So.
Makes sense. Totally.
I mean, I would give it a shot.
Right.
I would give it a shot, but my feet don't go as fast as there. My left foot's really fast. My right foot, Exodus doesn't have as much double bass, and what the double bass stuff that it does do, it's like mine, and that is theirs. So I don't try to, make that jump, and I don't think it would sound right. There would be a big purity issue there with me. So.
I understand completely. Now, Rob Dukes has a new album out, Generation Kill.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, there's singing on that album, which I heard when I was listening to it in my portable player, and then I had to go back and look. I was like, wait a minute, is this? But yeah, you probably known about his singing voice for some time, right?
Yeah, he's an awesome singer, and he can actually hit notes. I mean. He does a lot of screaming stuff with our band, but who knows? Maybe the next record will tap into his actual vocalizing skills a little bit more.
So there's room for that other dimension in Exodus.
There's always room for something. I mean, I don't want to not do it if it's good. That would be silly, right?
Right.
If it we could take a few chances here and there.
A little dynamic, eh?
I don't think the fans would be upset.
No. No. Cool. Well, thanks for taking some time to meet with me in Capital Chaos. Do you have any anything further you might like to share with anybody that might be watching this?
Just thanks for your time, and look for our new record. It'll be out. I don't know when it'll be out. It'll be out when it's done. How's that?